Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. I'm coming to you from home today. Um, I like to work at home on Wednesdays because I have a big gap between classes, so it's nice to hang out here and hang out with my kitty cats and get some work done. I'm just going to share this with my personal page, so hold on a second while I get this set up. There we go. So we're having a typical rainy day here in Vancouver. It's cold. I've got the heater on. I've got my heavy jacket on. When is it going to warm up? I guess it could be worse. I talked to somebody who said there's still a little bit of snow around her place, so could be a lot worse. And this is taking a little bit of time. The Wi-Fi here sucks. All right, done. Okay, so the topic that I wanted to talk about today has to do with getting in your own way, because I think a lot of us do this, and totally unintentional, but certain things that we do to get in our own way. So, you might have this big goal that you want to achieve, and you don't achieve that goal, and a lot of the reason why is really to do with yourself. Hey Nolan, how's it going? So I wanted to talk about some of the signs that you're standing in your own way and see if maybe any of you are doing that and what to do about it. I have a new goal of competing in a figure competition, so I know all about having these different mixed emotions. So the first sign that you might be getting in your own way is letting the fear of the unknown stop you. So when you try something new to get something that you want, it's scary for most people. Most people don't like doing new stuff because they don't, it's not familiar to them, so it's not comfortable, and that's just the way it is. But if you're letting your fear keep you from pursuing your goal, then the only one you have to blame is yourself. You're letting that fear take over, you're letting it stop you, and you have the power to not let that fear stop you. So don't let the fear stop you. Fear is good. It means that you're on the right path. And then the other fear is the fear of failure. So a lot of people will let this stop them. They'll think, oh, I'm just going to fail at it. So they don't even try. So if you don't try, then you've failed without even trying. So what's the point of that? You have to get out there and try it out. It might not work. It might work. You don't know. You got to just go out there and do it. And then if it doesn't work, then you know what not to do, right? So valuable lessons to be learned from failure. You should never let failure be the thing that, the fear of failure be the thing that stops you, because we will fail at things. We'll fail at new things that we try. And like I said, that's a good thing, because then you know what not to do. I mean, what if babies gave up when they failed at walking the first time? We'd all be sitting around our butts and crawling to get from place to place. None of us would be walking. So you fail, you figure out why that happened, and you don't repeat that. You try something new. The other one is self-doubt, and I mean, we all experience self-doubt every now and then. So what you need to do is turn your thinking around. So rather than thinking about your possible shortcomings and why you might fail or whatever, ask yourself, what do you need in order to succeed? What are the tools that you need? Who are the people that you need? What is going to make you successful? So figure that out. So rather than wasting that time and energy self-doubting yourself, use that energy to figure out what's going to help you to succeed, what's going to get you there. The next one is holding on to the past, and a lot of us are guilty or have been guilty of this. Hey Cindy, how's it going? It's really kind of easy to just blame things on your past. I mean, some people have been through some horrible things in their past. But the past lives in the past, and you need to live in the present if you want to be able to succeed and move forward into the future. So I know for a lot of people it's not going to be an easy thing, but you need to learn to let go of the past. And even if you had tried to reach a certain goal in the past and you failed at it, don't always refer back to that. Just forget that happened and try again. Because like I said, if you failed, it just means that you've learned what not to do. So you got to let go of that past, look to the future, figure out what tools you need and get what you want. And this is a big one, lack of self-respect. So what's your conversation in your head like? What are you saying to yourself most of the time? You know, is it negative? Do you put yourself down? Do you tell yourself that you're just not good enough? Do you tell yourself that success is meant for others but not you? Like, what's this conversation that's happening in your head? And I've had really negative head conversations in the past, and I managed to get out of that, because all it does is it stops you. You know, it stops you from doing what you want to do. So a little check to do is ask yourself, would you say the things that you're telling yourself to another person, to a friend, or to someone that you loved? And if the answer is no, then it's time to change that thinking around, because you're not doing yourself any kind of service at all if you're just always telling yourself negative things. And what you tell yourself and what you believe is what you become. So it took me a lot of years to figure that one out, and a lot of work on that, and let me tell you, it's definitely worth it. And when you are able to do that, you know, start talking to yourself more positively. That's when things start to happen. That's when your mind kind of opens up to opportunities, and just things just finally start to roll. So if you're really stuck in that negative headspace, first thing that I would advise you to do is figure out how to get out of that, whether, you know, it's talking to somebody about it or whatever it is, using self-help books, anything, you know, just get out of that thought, that negative thought pattern that's happening in your head. And it won't happen overnight. It'll take a lot of practice. It'll take a lot of determination. So what I used to do was, anytime a negative thought popped into my head, I would force myself to think of something positive, no matter how small it was, just to kind of turn around that thought pattern. So you know, if you're finding that your conversations in your head are typically negative, that's the first thing to work on. It's going to make huge improvements. Oh, thanks, Cindy. So nice of you to say. And then the next one is just, you know, success is yours. So we all have within us the ability to do what we want to do. And I know this because I've done some things that I was sure I would never be able to do. I thought for sure these things that I wanted to do were impossible. For a lot of years, I told myself that these things were impossible, and I held myself back for a lot of years, and kept myself in a very unhappy kind of situation, and just, you know, very low self-esteem. So once you realize that you can have what you want, once you reach for something and you succeed at it, that kind of gets the ball rolling. So, you know, even those small goals that you set for yourself, when you achieve a goal, no matter how small it is, really think about that and think about how awesome you are for doing that, and then moving on to the next goal. Because if you're just always telling yourself that you can't do it, and, you know, that wasn't meant for you, like success is not meant for you, then you're just going to stay there. And, you know, we just have one life, and it goes by super fast. And, you know, how awesome is it to live a life where you're excited and you know, you're happy, you're positive. And, you know, that can happen for you. It's going to take some work if you're kind of stuck in that negative space. I was in a negative space up until probably my mid-30s. So I spent a lot of time in that negative space, and I did get out. And, you know, it's part of my passion for sharing with you guys, because I know it can be done, and I know how awesome it is when you do it. So I hope that inspires you a little bit. Hey, Stephen, I'm just taking off now. I got to get ready and go back to the studio. I got one more class with my new training schedule. I'm not allowed to do as much cardio as I normally do. I'm supposed to cut it down to teaching just one class a day, and I'm used to 2 or 3 classes a day, sometimes an extra one for some private clients. So this is really different for me. Basically eating more food and exercising less. So it feels a little odd, but I'm going to trust the process, and my coach, Lori, just seems so awesome. So I'm just super excited to work towards this. So I'm going to go and I'm going to coach my class off of my bike and give them a really great class and probably work them harder than I would if I was riding with them, so kind of feel bad for them. So you guys have an awesome evening, and I will talk to you again real soon.